Yo, welcome to another video, guys. So today I got Lies of P, and specifically in Lies of P I will be talking about the stats attribution. So Lies of P released yesterday, and like a Souls-like game, it has a lot of complicated stuff, but it is actually fairly simpler than a lot of the other Souls-like games such as Dark Souls, Elden Ring, etc. This game is actually a lot more simple. Right, it has complicated stuff, obviously, but it doesn't have that many complicated things at all. So today our topic is, as I said, stats attribution, this window. Okay, so if this window is where you're getting confused or you have any trouble understanding something, this video is exactly for you. So there will be timestamps in the description, so just jump to wherever you want to see. If there's a specific point that you want to understand, just click to a timestamp and you'll jump to it. Other than that, let's jump straight to it. Now, if you are a Souls veteran, you will already look at this screen and you will already just know exactly what's happening, right? You already know. So this must be very, very simple for you. Although I have seen a lot of Souls veterans getting confused between the difference of Motivity and Technique. So I will be explaining that later in the video as well. If you want to jump straight to that, timestamps in the description. Okay. Now for you non-Souls veterans or anyone that doesn't really know what's going on here, let me just explain it to you as simple as possible. Vitality, so let's jump to Vitality number 1. Vitality gives you HP and guard regen. Okay, so Vitality gives you HP and guard regen, that's it. And it gives you a little bit of resistance as well. As you can see, if I level up, I get 1 fire resistance, 1 electric resistance, 1 acid resistance, and 2 physical resistance. But the stats of the resistances that you get is actually quite low, because that's not the priority of this stat, right, of this attribute. The main priority is the HP, because you can see how much extra HP you get. You go from 405 to 422 on level 15 Vitality. And if that's not it, you get guard regen. As you can see, 79 to 84. Now, what exactly is guard regen, right? Guard regen is when you perfect parry someone, or not perfect parry. When you parry someone, or when you block an attack, when you guard an attack, right? You take damage, but there is some damage that is stored. As you will be able to see on your health bar, there will be your red HP, and then there will be like a maroon semi-red area in front of it, and you'll be like, what exactly is that? That is guard regen, right? So what that does is that the more guard regen you have, the bigger that semi-red area will be. And what that basically means is that your HP is this. This is your guard regen, right? Guard regen is the HP. It's not the HP that replenishes over time. It is the HP that replenishes when you attack an enemy. So you guard and you have that damage over there. That's the guard regen. Now when you attack the enemy, that guard regen will fill up. Okay, the guard regen will fill up, and that is actually what guard regen is. So if you have high guard regen, the higher the guard regen you have, the bigger that semi-red area will be. Okay, so that's exactly what guard regen is. So it's all based around HP. Vitality is all about HP. You want more HP, you go for Vitality. Vigor, same thing, does not give you guard regen actually. Vigor is the same thing, but it gives you stamina. Okay, in Vitality gives you HP, as you can see over here. Follow my cursor. It gives you HP and guard regen. Vitality gives you just stamina. It doesn't give you guard regen, doesn't give you HP. It gives you stamina, but it gives you a lot of stamina, right? And it again gives you damage resistance as well, but it does not give you damage resistance against fire, electric, and acid attacks. It only gives you 1, I believe, 1 damage reduction against physical damage. Okay, so again, that stat is not that relevant, but that stamina stat is actually very, very relevant. So you definitely want to put some points in Vigor. You don't want to max it out. You don't want to put way too many points in it, but do put points in it. Keep Vigor and Vitality kind of close to each other, okay? So that you can have more stamina. So Vigor is all about stamina. You want more stamina, you go for Vigor. Capacity is capacity. It gives you more weight to carry. So you can see over here, follow my cursor, 67.2. That's my current weight carry capacity, okay? This is my current carry capacity. So what capacity does is that you put a point in that, as you can see, 67.2, right? 70.3. It goes up to 70.3, just like that. Now I can carry even more. It also gives you lesion. It gives you damage resistance as well. As you can see, just one damage resistance, again, not that significant. So main things about capacity is that it gives you weight. It increases your weight. So you can carry even more items, right? And it gives you lesion. Now, what exactly is lesion? And what exactly is lesion over here? Now, lesion, if you don't know, is P's left arm, the mechanical arm that he uses. I'll show it to you guys. This left arm, his left arm, right? This left arm, this is lesion. And what does that bar indicate? What does having higher lesion mean? I'll show it to you guys. So if you see, look at the bottom left, look at this area of the screen. I'll actually move my camera. Look at this area of the screen, okay? Bottom left, that says fullness. Now that is lesion, that's my arm. And when I use it, when I press control, you see my bar is going down, right? My bar goes down as I use my lesion's ability. As I use my lesion's ability, see, it damages the enemy and my bar goes down. Now, of course, it is replenishing over here because I am in this practice area, but in the game, in the main game, this bar will not replenish. The only way to replenish this bar is to go back to one of the checkpoints, okay? As you can see, as I'm attacking this guy, this bar on the bottom left over here, the bar on the bottom left is decreasing, right? And the reason why it's decreasing is because that is the basically, you can call it the sauce of my lesion, okay? You can just call it the sauce. Same as how when I sprint, my stamina decreases, right? But it replenishes over time. That is not the case with lesion. Yes, my lesion is replenishing over here, but that's because I'm in this practice area. In the actual game, this bar does not replenish. The only way to replenish it is to go back to a checkpoint. So this is what lesion does. So when you have more lesion, you will have a longer bar on the bottom left so that you can use your lesion's abilities for longer. Okay, you will be able to use them more. So back to the upgrade, back to leveling up. On capacity, see, lesion is right here. I do it, I increase it, I put a point in capacity, it goes up to 210. That means now that bar, when I upgrade this, that bar will get longer. I will have more sauce to use more of lesion attacks. Okay, so capacity increases your weight, carry limit, and your lesion. Now moving on to motivity. What does motivity do? Okay, again, what does motivity do? Motivity and technique. Okay, motivity and technique. I will discuss both of them together because they are correlated. They're not correlated, but this is where a lot of people get confused. What does motivity and technique mean? They have the same stats. They're doing the same thing. What is the difference? Well, here's the difference. First of all, for you Souls veterans, I'll just say two words and you will understand it and understand exactly what these things are. Motivity is equals to strength. Technique is equals to dexterity. That's it. I'm sure you got it now. So, and for non-Souls veterans, motivity is strength. Now, what is strength? Strength is related to heavier weapons, heavier armor, heavier weapons. Technique is related to speed and agility and faster weapons. So when you want to be more, when you're using heavier weapons, right? If you want to use large swords, you want to use large hammers and stuff, you go for Motivity. If you are going for that heavy build, if you're going for a strength build, you will put points in Motivity. If you're going for dexterity build, meaning you'll be using faster weapons, you'll be using weapons like daggers, short swords, stuff like that, right? You will put points in technique. You will not put any points in Motivity. Now, I am going for a dexterity build, but because I didn't know the difference between Motivity and technique, I ended up putting more points in Motivity, which is strength, which is useless for me, right? So that's why my technique is on 12 and my Motivity is on 16. And trust me, this Motivity is going to remain 16 for the rest of my game, okay? Because I'm putting the rest of my points in technique because I'm going for a dexterity build. So that was a mistake. Don't make this mistake. If you're going for a strength build, put points in Motivity. If you're going for dexterity build, put points in technique. Both of them do the same thing. Okay? Both of them do the same thing. You put a point in Motivity, it increases your physical attack damage. Oh yeah. This right here portrays your damage dealt. This right here portrays your damage resistance. So if anything is increasing over here, this means that damage reduction is being increased. So your damage resistance is increasing, so you will take lesser damage. Over here, if anything increases over here, that means the attack damage that you deal will be increasing. And same goes for technique. Same thing, just this is strength for heavier weapons. This is strength, this is dexterity for lighter weapons, lighter, faster weapons. And lastly, advance. You see how back in Vigor, it gives you HP and it increases your damage resistance over here, but it doesn't do anything over here? That's exactly what Advance does. Okay, that's exactly what Advance does. Advance increases your legion. First of all, it increases your legion. It also increases your legion arm attack ability. So basically, this is the ability that you use from your legion arm, right? So if this increases, this means that your legion arms attack damage, right? Your legion arm attacks damage will increase. Over here, as you can see, the damage is going up 150 plus 67 plus 71. I don't know what this 4 means, to be honest, but it's increasing nevertheless. And it gives you a lot of resistances, by the way. Look at this. Look at the resistances. The resistances increase, and it does not give you any physical resistance. It mainly focuses on elemental resistances. So fire, electric, acid, disruption, shock, break, all of these. Okay, it does not give you any physical resistance. So this is a great attribute to put a lot of points in if you are tanky. Okay, so this advance is mainly focused on legion and resistance. So that is all of the attributes, right? Now there are 3 classes in Lies of P. First is the Path of the Cricket, which is the balanced class. You get the best of both worlds, dexterity and strength. And then is the Path of the Sweeper, which is the strength build, heavy weapon build. And then there is the Path of the Bastard, which is a dexterity build. Right? Now, depending on what class you took, you want to put points in appropriate attributes that are going to benefit you. Now, if you go for Path of the Sweeper, you want to put all your points in Motivity. By all your points, I mean not literally every single point. Like whenever you're out of these two, technique and Motivity, you want to put all of your points in Motivity. You don't want to put a single point in technique. And if you're going for dexterity build, which is Path of the Bastard, you want to put points in technique, okay, instead of Motivity. Now, if you are going for the balanced class, Path of the Cricket, that means that you get the best of both worlds. You can go for strength and dexterity.
Now, you might think to yourself, then why even pick the other two classes when I can just go for both classes at the same time, right? Because that's not really the case. I'm saying that that class is the best of both worlds, but in reality, it's not the best. It's the both worlds, but it's not the best of both worlds. Okay? Because when you are dividing points in both motivity and technique, both strength and dexterity at the same time, right? You are dividing points equally among them. That means that your points in either one of them are not going to be as high as they would be for someone going for a specific type of a build, right? Which means you will start to lag. Yeah, you will be able to diverse, you will be able to diversify, you'll be able to use heavier weapons and lighter weapons at the same time. That's a W. But because your stats will be low, you will not be able to wield those weapons as effectively. Okay, so that right there is a con of going for the balanced class. Whereas a pro is that you get the best of both worlds. So that's how you want to put points in the attributes of Lies of P. Make sure to put points in vitality so that you can have high HP and vigor, so that you can have more stamina, because these two are actually very, very important. Put a few points in capacity. You don't need too many points in capacity, especially because instead of having higher capacity, you need to learn how to manage your inventory. That is way more important than having higher capacity. Now, how do you manage your inventory? I will be making a video on that very, very soon. So if you want to watch that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss that video or any other videos coming up, because I will have a lot of content coming up. And these two you guys already know, either strength or dexterity. Okay, and advance if you want a lot of resistance. Now, if you're going for the strength build, your priority should be advanced, right? Advanced attribute should be your priority over vitality if you're going for strength build. Whereas if you're going for dexterity build, you should put more points in vitality than in advance. All right, so that's a tip that I have for you guys, and that will be it for the video. That is all of the attributes explained. I hope you guys understood, and if you guys got any value from this video, make sure to comment down below. Let me know if you got any value, or discuss something I got wrong, something I should have added to it, right? Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any other video, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.